Hello everyone, welcome back, welcome to my channel, Cool Maniac here. This is part 2 of the garage showcase of, GTA Online. So, starting right off with the LG Custom. This is of course influenced, and it is, anyone who knows this skin knows where this car is from. That is of course from the Fast and Furious franchise. This is the Nissan Skyline R32. One car that is, for some reason, illegal in a lot of countries. Second, we have the 900R, the Banshee. Now, I made it look the car from Fast and Furious, obviously. It's not a car that I particularly like to drive. It tends to spin out, but it's not bad, and I like it. Third, we have this, the monster car. This is, of course, since I already said it, inspired by the monster Ford Mustang on, what's his face, the drift guy. It is a car that I actually really like. It does drift, as the name suggests, because it is called the, the drift Tempa. But it also drives really good for a sports car, for a muscle car. So I really like that. Next, we have this little racer car. This car is actually influenced, and its real life counterpart is the Celine S7. Look at how low this car is. You can just walk onto it. Anyways, this is actually, like I said, inspired by the Celine S7, which is an American supercar back in the 2000 something. I think it was like a 2005 model. I don't remember, but yeah, I remember, I remember first laying my eyes on this car in real life, through one of those shows that had it featured, thinking this car is highly impractical, and where would you drive this stupid car? Because, I mean, look at it. Even in real life, it actually looks like this, and it is impossible to drive. It's actually one of the first cars to have a reverse camera on it, just because, there was no way to look back. I mean, look at it. It goes for miles. Anyways, racing-wise, this car is very good. I actually quite enjoy racing in this car. Let's move on. Next, we have this thing. Now, I actually don't know what this thing is modeled after, but it kind of looks like a Infinity Honda Mazda mix. That's the vibe I'm getting from this car. And from this trio of racing cars, this is actually my least favorite. It actually accelerates the slowest. It does go fast once it accelerates, and some people say it's even faster than these two. I disagree. Next, we have, of course, this car, the whatever it's called. It's a bunch of numbers and letters, and just a racing car. And believe it or not, this is actually my favorite of the trio. Like, I love the Taurus here, but this one is by far my favorite. So yeah, those are, this floor's racing cars. So let's move up. I'm gonna try and make this a little bit faster, because these racing cars, there's not much to say about them. They're just what they are. So I mean, there are a few of them that I actually do like and have stories behind them, but that's about it. Okay, so like I said, second floor. And first off, we have the truck. Well, the first truck. I actually prefer leaving the stock tires on the trucks because they look good. They look like rally trucks the way they should look like. Second, we have the trophy truck, which is obviously this one. Again, I prefer the stock tires on it. I don't like changing the tires because it just doesn't look, and also doesn't fit with the, the spare tires they have on them. So there's that. Third, and we have this, the Sultan RS. Now, this is a fan favorite because it is a returning car from GTA 4. It was one of the, I guess you could say rare cars in GTA 4, until you got into one, and then everybody in town seemed to have one. And, this car gave me a lot of nightmares and headaches. Some of you may be aware about the story about this, but when this car came out, the game had a glitch where it would just remove upgrades that you had on the car. And well, it wouldn't return the money, but it was still the upgrades. So you basically had to reinstall the upgrades again and again, and you would lose a lot of money. Now, I do have a lot of money on this account, but that's not something I'm willing to just to lose for nothing. I did contact Rockstar, handed them proof that my car was upgraded and then it wasn't upgraded, and they were kind enough to reimburse me for the losses, and they did fix the problem real quick, which I appreciate. Next, we have the racing version of the Dinka Jester. Again, I mean, from the previous video, you know that I like how this car looks. It looks really, really good. Unlike the ordinary Jester, I've actually taken this out for a spin in races, and it handles fantastically. I think the normal one and this one handle the same. Next, we move on to this one. Now, I mean, I don't have to say which cars these look like in real life, do I? I mean, this one is obviously a Subaru Impreza. Like I said, this one is the new Honda NSX. And well, let's move on to this one. Well, this one looks like early Aston Ferrari mix. Actually, it does look more like the early Ferrari, the I think it was like 550. I'm not sure though. Anyways, it's of course the Massacro. It is a very good, racing car. It's actually, before any of the new cars, fancy cars came out, this was actually one of the top 3 when it came to racing. It was actually pretty good when it came to that class, the sports class anyways. Now, next we have this one, the new one. The Italy GTB Custom. Now, this one is the upgraded version, the race version. I didn't do much to it, just a few body changes here and there. I don't like liveries on these cars because they just don't look good, so I left it as is. Just changed the color, and I actually like the color scheme. I like the way it turned out. The pearlescent yellow glow gives it a nice shine, and I like it that way. Next, we have something that is, this car, by the way, I have no idea what this car is modeled after. It kind of looks like the new Toyota, the successor Toyota to the whatchamacallit car that they showed. Actually, I'm not sure. It also has, obviously, it has lines from Ferrari because for some reason GTA guys like Ferraris a lot. Any boobs, shut up. Any boobs, let's move on. This is the Comet Retro, which I really like. This car is fantastic. It looks great, handles great. I really appreciate Rockstar adding this car into the mix. Not to mention, wheels that already exist in the game actually look good on this car, which is another plus. It is one of my favorite add-ons, Benny's cars, well, racing Benny cars anyways. So let's move on. This is the final floor. Now, welcome to 2C, the final floor of this garage. So, what do we have? Well, let's see. First off, we have this car, the Obey Omnis. Now, the Obey Omnis is obviously modeled after the the Audi Quattro, the first original rally car. The first ever rally car to feature four-wheel drive. Very successful, very nice. Alright, so Lampadati Rally. This car was obviously added at the same time as these cars, but it's modeled after the Lancia Stratos, which is another, rally car that has a very successful pedigree, which, I appreciate. It's actually a pretty good car to drive. It does tend to spin out a little bit because it's rear-wheel drive. That one is a little bit more stable, but I like them both, and I also like the, UK-ish flag it has. Next, we have this little fantastic sprite car, the Brioso, I think it's called. well, it's obvious, this car, you don't have to guess it. It looks like the Fiat 500. And next we have one of my favorite bikes in the game. Check this out. Look at this beauty. Look at how beautiful this bike is. I absolutely like this bike. This bike is of course the FCR 1000 Custom. I really like how it turned out. I mean, it has tons and tons of customization. It did came out as a late addition to the Biker DLC. I think, I'm not sure. It might have actually came out with the sports cars and stuff, but anyways, I love it. I especially love how it turned out, retro and stuff. Next we have, well, again with the Cunning Stunts DLC, this little bike, which is really good. It actually reminds me of those bikes that people use for, you know those stunts that people climb on cubes, circles, shapes. It actually reminds me of that kind of a bike. Not so much stunt as much as it's climbing and stuff, doing cool things. And finally, we have the Nagasaki, which is a rally bike. And I mean, this looks like it belongs in the Paris Rally Dakar race. So, okay, it's nice. I haven't actually driven it. The furthest this thing has gone is from the garage to the workshop and back. And obviously not this workshop because, I moved it in this garage. This is it for this garage. So again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this. If you did like it, please leave a like and subscribe. Share if you can. It is appreciated. And well, see you in the next video. Bye bye.